It's always easier to walk down a path that has already been cut down. You know, the grass is low, the trees are all out of your face, they've all been hacked down already, than it is to try and make a new path. This is exactly how consistency works. The more we do something, this eventually becomes a habit. Then this habit eventually becomes a routine. Let's take this for example. You wake up, the first thing you do is go on your phone. How does this then change the rest of your day? This is why you have to focus on this key thing. Because what that does is you wake up, you go on your phone, start consuming that brain rot content, whatever it may be. Yeah. But you lie in bed for longer. This causes you to have less time. Because you have less time, you are then less productive. Just from this one root cause, you've changed the trajectory of your day. And when you continue to do it, this changes the trajectory of your future. In Atomic Habits, James Clear uses this very good analogy, and I like it. He says, let's say, for example, you're flying from LA, your destination is New York, but you take off 3.5 degrees south, yeah, and you continue flying that way. You end up in DC, you end up in a completely different city because of your starting point. And this is what we need to focus on. You just need to first focus on changing this starting point. So what I'd recommend doing, because let's say you wake up, you don't go on your phone, yeah, you have more time. That more time leads to you having more productivity. And that's just how it's going to be for a few days. Oh, I got more time. I got more time. You know what? I got more time. Why don't I start going to the gym? You know what? I've got more time. Why don't I start meditating? Do you know what? I could probably start journaling too. And then these are how these habits begin to stack because you start to create more time. But how do you actually do this? Because, of course, that's easier said than done. This is where it comes down to your environment. Why are you purposefully making it harder for yourself? And maybe you don't even realize it. But if you sleep next to your phone, which is bad for you anyway, what are you going to do? If you always sleep next to your phone, what are you going to do? This is where the habits come in now. You wake up, oh, yo, my phone, boom, start scrolling. Instead, change your environment. Maybe set your alarm, put your phone on the furthest point of you on your room, yeah? Then you get up, you're like, okay, now I have to turn it off. Now this is where accountability comes in. Because are you gonna turn off the alarm and then get back into bed? Or are you gonna turn off the alarm and then go downstairs? You know? So just by putting your phone on the other side of your room, you make it harder for you. Friction. As I was talking about the path before, it all goes back to it. Because the reason it's so much easier to walk that path that is already flat and there's no trees in your face is because there's less friction. You're not trying to walk through, you know what I'm saying? Because it's already there. So you make this harder for yourself. Yeah. Put your phone on the other side of your room. Then you have to get up when the alarm goes off. And maybe you set these alarms a minute apart from each other, right? So it's going to keep going off. It's going to keep going off. You get me? Until you get used to just doing that one simple habit, this will actually change the whole trajectory. But what do you first have to do? You see how I said you have to be accountable? This comes down to a mindset shift. See, a lot of people think that you have to be to do. You have to have the thing you want to be the person you want in order to do the things you want. Now, let's completely reframe our whole mindset when it comes to this. Because we don't have to have the thing yet, but we do have to be the person subconsciously. We have to tell ourselves, no, who are we? Because who are you? What do you want? That's what you have to think. You have to think, nah, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. So I'm gonna shift my mindset and say, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do this today. Because I'm somebody that wants this future. More than just wanting it, what you're doing when you're creating that friction, when you're putting your phone down, is you're actually committing to it. And commitment is extremely important because everybody wants, but people don't commit. And this is where you kind of have that cognitive dissonance in your mind where it's like you want this, but you really don't. Because if you did, then you would do the thing. So just start like that. Start making it harder for you to actually do the thing that you desire to do and actually do the thing you desire to do. achieve the thing that you desire to achieve, which is whatever future it is. Maybe it could just be you, something simple, getting into shape, right? Actually start doing the things in order to get into shape. Make it harder for you. So, for example, take the bad food out your house. Stop buying the bad food. Yeah, this is going to make it so much easier for you to achieve your goal because it's not even in your yard anymore. Yeah, you want to go get it, you have to go up, you have to go to the shop, whatever. You automatically make it harder for you, but you have to, as I was saying, be accountable. Mindset shift is extremely important. And my next point, goal setting. Now, I've got a whiteboard behind me, right? It's just the simple things, right? So let's say, for example, you're on a streak of how many days of not going on your phone first thing in the morning. Once you start building up those lines or building up those dots, there's an app that you can use called Dailyo, or you can have a whiteboard or a piece of paper, whatever it may be. Yeah, once you start building up those dots, you do not want to break that habit anymore because you see how much work you've actually put in to get that habit, to actually build that routine. You do not want to break that anymore. So, what you do, which is also extremely important when setting goals, celebrate the small wins. Genuinely be proud of yourself for achieving small feats because at the end of the day, that's what adds up. 1% better every day. At the end of the day, these little achievements, for one, it's good dopamine. Like you're like, yeah, like I achieved it, and then you want to continue to achieve it. But for two, these will add up and it will actually come to a holistic goal. When you continue to be like that, you'll see progress in your overall character. I know these little things may seem insignificant, but trust me, you have to be proud of yourself because no one else will see the work that you're putting in behind the scenes. So you have to be proud of yourself. And this way it leads me on to my next point. Let's talk about so I said environment, but this is environment in terms of your friends. Are your friends helping you stay consistent? Or are your friends even consistent? It's so important that the people that you surround yourself by want to be great. If they don't want to be great, don't be friends with them. I don't care if it seems like a stretch. It's true because all of my friends have my best interest at heart. But do yours? Are your friends pulling you down? You don't want anyone that pulls you down. And it's not even a bad thing. Like you don't have to be like, oh, I don't want to be friends with you. Da, da, da. You will naturally outgrow these people. Then explain. Like, let's say, for example, you want to go on monk mode, whatever it may be. If your friends don't support you, they are not real friends. Your friends do not want to see you grow. So you have to change your friends sometimes in order to change your mental environment because you don't want these people bringing you down. You really need to get to where you want to get to on your consistency journey. If that's you, I don't know, you want to stop smoking, for example, then if these friends are always encouraging you to smoke, they are not good friends because your real friends wouldn't do that. Your real friends would try and support you in whatever it is that you wanted to do, which is extremely important because your friend group, if they are all succeeding, you will also be the ones to succeed. If your friends are consistent, you'll find it way easier to be consistent. If your friends hold you accountable, then you're definitely going to be consistent. Because if I slip, my friends will be like, nah, get back on it, get back on it. That's exactly what I have to do. This is my last point, most important point. Do not doubt yourself. Never doubt your ability. Because the moment you start doubting yourself, that's when you fall into those bad habits again. And remember, these habits are not you. These habits are not your personality. You can curate new characteristics. People always asking, oh, how do you get so disciplined? How do you do that? Because you can curate characteristics. You can change the person that you are now. And you will. As long as you don't doubt yourself, you will truly do whatever it is that you desire. If you want to be consistent, you will do that because you don't doubt yourself. You can do it. I'll be the person telling you, you can do it. It's not hard, but it's difficult. I'll say that. It's not hard, but it's difficult. You just have to be willing to change. But when you stop doubting yourself, you'll kind of just flow with life. All of this will become way easier. And I know this is probably the first step in your journey, or maybe it's something that you just need to rehear because you're slipping. I slip myself, you know. It's normal. It's normal, right? But then you just have to be willing to catch yourself again and have friends that are willing to catch you and be like, get back on your game. But they are the only things you really need to be consistent. Don't start adding new habits until you've eradicated the bad ones. Don't start adding new ones. As I said, focus on that one key thing that is changing the whole trajectory of your day and the whole trajectory of your future. And then you'll see your whole life change.